Welcome to the Wild Wild Wallflower Mandala Crochet Along Part 2. In this part we are going to make the next 5 rounds of our mandala. That's going to take us to this point right here. So all we need for this video is our yarn, our hook, some scissors, and a needle to weave in our ends. And that's it, so let's get started. Alright, for round 7, I am using the color Tomato, and round 7 is actually worked entirely into round 5, and that might sound a little difficult to you, but it's actually pretty easy. I will show you how we do it. So round 5 is mostly already worked into by round 6. We are going to bend round 6 forward. So take a couple of these petals, find that single crochet between 2 petals, and center that, okay? We are going to work directly behind that single crochet, bend those petals forward, and you'll see a little bit of round 5 behind it. That's that round 5 single crochet, and that is where we are going to work our stitches. We're going to start with a treble into that single crochet. I'm going to make a standing treble, so again, if you don't want to make a standing treble, just go ahead and slip stitch to that round 5 single crochet and chain 4 to count as your first treble. I'm going to do a standing treble. So to do that, yarn over twice and hold it in place. I'll just show you this again so you can see. Insert your hook into that round 5 single crochet. Don't be afraid to just pull this down so that you can really see where it's at. Okay, yarn over twice, hold it in place with a finger or thumb, and insert it into that round 5 single crochet. Pull up a loop, and then you complete your treble. Okay, so first treble complete. Now we chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So if you started with a chain 4 for your treble, it'll be a total of 7 chains. Now let's make another treble into that same single crochet. So that was treble, chain 3, treble into the round 5 single crochet. Now chain 3 again, and we're going to make another, we're going to go straight to the next round 5 single crochet. So that's past this petal of round 6, behind this single crochet around 6, we'll find the next round 5 single crochet and make another treble, chain 3 treble. This one has my slip stitch in it, so it's a little harder to work into. There we go. Okay, treble, chain 3, and treble. There's my yarn end, but that won't be visible after we're done with this. And then chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now again, find that next round 5 single crochet behind this round 6 single crochet. Okay, and work treble, chain 3, and treble. Then chain 3 again. And that's our pattern. Just go ahead and do that all the way around. Okay, when we come to the end, all we need to do is slip stitch to our first treble to join, or that'll be the 4th chain in your starting chain if that's what you used. Slip stitch, and you can fasten off, or you don't have to fasten off this round. I'm changing colors, so I will. No invisible join this round because we will not see it. Okay, that is round 7. Now for round 8, I am going to be using the color Clementine. And we are going to start again with a standing treble. Again, you don't have to use it. You can use your chain 4 instead. We're going to start in any of these chain 3 spaces that's between 2 trebles that are made into the same single crochet. So you can see the V shape. We're going to work into any of those chain 3 spaces, not the ones between the V's, okay? If you're using the same color, you can just slip stitch into the next chain 3 space. If you're using a new color, go ahead and pick any of those V's to work into. So I'm going to start with a standing treble. Again, you can use a chain 4 instead if you're more comfortable with that. Now let's make another treble. So that's 2 trebles to begin. And now we're going to make a picot. To make picots in this pattern, what I do is chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I insert my hook under the front loop of the last stitch I made, the last treble I made, and the loop right below it. Okay, insert your hook into those 2 loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull that through. And that's your first picot. Now we'll make 2 more trebles, and I'll show you the picots a couple more times, don't worry. So 2 more trebles, and another picot. So chain 1, 2, 3, and now we'll slip stitch to the front 2 loops of this stitch. So that's going in from behind the front loop, and then under the next loop of that stitch, and slip stitch. Now 2 more trebles, now a picot, chain 3, insert your hook behind the front loop and the loop right below it, and slip stitch, then 2 more trebles. Okay, and that is 1 petal for round 8. So 2 trebles, picot, 2 trebles, picot, 2 trebles, picot, 2 trebles, 8 trebles total, and 3 picots. Now we are going to single crochet in the round 6 petal. In the chain 1 space of the next round 6 petal, make a single crochet. Just skip the chain 3 space that's behind that petal, and now go to the next chain 3 space that is part of this V of trebles, okay? And we're going to make another petal for round 8. So 2 trebles to start, and then a picot. 1, 2, 3, and then slip stitch the front 2 loops of that treble. Now 2 more trebles, and a picot. 1, 2, 3, slip stitch to the front 2 loops of the treble, 2 more trebles, another picot, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, and 2 more trebles to complete this round 8 petal. Phew, okay, that's a lot of stitches. Now let's single crochet into the chain 1 space of the next round 6 petal. Okay, so that is how our pattern goes. Let's go ahead and do that all the way around. Okay, when we are at the end of round 8 and we've made the very last single crochet into that round 6 petal, we can go ahead and either slip stitch to the first treble to join or do another invisible join. This is another good round for an invisible join because it will show a little bit more. Okay, so pull the yarn through, thread our needle, find the second stitch, go under the top 2 loops, pull that through, then go under the back loop only of our single crochet. Pull that through and then tighten it up and weave your end in. See, those invisible joins just get easier each time you do them, don't they? All right, go ahead and weave your ends in, and that is round 8. For round 9, we are going to start with new yarn. I am using the color Sage. Start with a slip knot on your hook, and what we're going to do is go ahead and pick any one of the petals from round 8 and find the first picot in that petal. So I'm going to start with this petal, and I'm going to start with the first picot. Now, this is a little tricky, so let's go slow. And what we're going to do is what I call working into the bottom of a picot. It's going to place a single crochet in the bottom of the picot from behind. So what we do is with our hook, we insert our hook from behind through the center of the picot. And I find the easiest way to do that, I just put a finger or thumb on the other side of the picot and let my hook find the center, and it kind of just finds its way right into the middle. As long as your hook isn't catching only one loop, or it doesn't look off center after you insert your hook through the center of the picot, you're fine. You don't have to worry too much about getting the exact right loops. But I find it's pretty easy if I just kind of let the hook go in, okay? And then what I'm going to do is insert my hook between the posts of the 2 trebles that the picot sits between. So these 2 trebles right here, I'm going to insert my hook between those 2 trebles, okay? And this kind of bends the picot down, and then I can pull up a loop through the 2 trebles and through the back of the picot to make a standing single crochet. Okay, and that'll leave just a little blip of yarn on the front. And now we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to do the same thing in the next picot. So insert your hook into the back of the picot right in the center, and then down through those 2 trebles, and your hook comes out behind. Then pull up a loop through the 2 trebles and through the picot, and then finish your single crochet. Then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and go ahead and do the same thing in the next picot. So through the back of the picot, insert your hook, down through the 2 trebles, your hook comes out the back, then pull up a loop and complete your single crochet. Now between petals we're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go to the next picot. We're going to do this all the way around. So into the back of the picot, down between the posts of the 2 trebles, and out the back, and then pull up a loop and make your single crochet. Then chain 1, 2, 3, then through the back of the next picot. Now see, that one I can tell was just a little off. It didn't feel right, and it came out kind of on the left side. So I'm going to try again. There we go, that feels better. Down between the 2 trebles, out the back, and pull up a loop and single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, then through the back of this picot, back of the next picot, down through the 2 trebles and out the back. There we go. Pull up a loop and make a single crochet. All right, and then between petals we chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then we'll just keep doing that on each petal all the way around. All right, when you come back around to the beginning, you can go ahead and slip stitch to the first single crochet to join. No need for an invisible join. This is all going to be very hidden. You can fasten off if you want to change colors, or if you don't want to change colors, you don't have to. Just slip stitch into the next chain space. All right, round 10. If you are using the same color yarn as round 9, go ahead and slip stitch into the next chain 3 space. And you're going to chain 1 and single crochet in that same chain 3 space. If you are using new yarn, we're going to make a standing single crochet in the first chain 3 space after a chain 5 space. So the chain 5 is what's between any 2 petals, and the very first chain 3 space after that, make a standing single crochet. Alright, now we're all at the same spot. Let's chain 3 and single crochet in the next chain 3 space. Now into the chain 5 space that comes next, we're going to make 2 double crochets, and now we're going to make 2 half treble crochets. This isn't a very common stitch, so I'll show you how to do it. Yarn over twice, just like for a regular treble. Insert your hook into the chain space, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And that's a half treble, so it's something between a double crochet and a treble. We're going to make 2 of those. That was 1. Let's make the second one. Yarn over twice, insert your hook and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. Okay, so 2 double crochets, 2 half trebles. Now make 1 treble, and now make a picot. So 1, 2, 3, just like we did in round 8, chain 3, insert your hook under the top or the front 2 loops of that last treble. So you're going to insert your hook down under the front loop, but from behind the front loop, and then under the loop that's right below the front loop, and make a slip stitch. Okay, now make another treble into that same chain 3 or chain 5 space. And now 2 half trebles, so we're just doing the reverse of the other side. 2 half trebles, and then 2 double crochets. Okay, so that petal went 2 double crochets, 2 half trebles, a treble, a picot, a treble, 2 half trebles, and then 2 double crochets. That's how that petal is made. Okay, now into the next chain 3 space, make a single crochet, chain 3, and then in the next chain 3 space, make another single crochet. All right, so we're just doing the same thing over again. So let's make 1 more petal together. Into the next chain 5 space, make 2 double crochets. Now make 2 half trebles. So yarn over twice, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 3 loops. 1 more half treble, 1 regular treble, now a picot, so 1, 2, 3 chains, slip stitch to the front 2 loops of that last treble you made. Now treble, 2 half trebles, and 2 double crochets. Okay, so that is how we make the petals in this round. Go ahead and make that all the way around, and I will show you the invisible join one more time. Okay, once you've got all of your stitches done for round 10, I'm going to do another invisible join. You can either slip stitch to that first single crochet, or you can invisible join. Let's see. So to invisible join, cut the yarn and then pull it through that last stitch. Thread it on your needle. And we are going to go, actually we're going to go under the top 2 loops of the very first chain in this chain 3 space. And then we're going to come back around and go under the top loop and that back loop, the 3rd loop of that last double crochet that we made. And then pull that pretty snug to act as the new top 2 loops of that single crochet. And then going to go ahead and weave my end in so that my invisible join doesn't come loose. Okay, we're not going to work into that single crochet, so don't worry too much about the top loops. Okay. And then again, use the other end, the end that is from the very first stitch, use it to secure those 2 stitches so that they really feel like they're more connected by that invisible join. Okay. Okay, there we go. And we can snip our ends. And I still need to weave in round 9, but there's round 10. That's it, that's round 10. Okay, for round 11, I'm going to be using the color magenta. And we are going to start by working into a picot again. And picots are amazing little stitches. There is so much you can do with them. We're going to work into these picots in a completely different way from the first time, from round 9. We're going to go in through the center of the picot from the front this time. So I just call this, in my patterns, I call it working into the center of a picot. So all you really need to do is, with your slip knot on your hook, insert your hook into the center of that picot. And you can see I put my finger behind the picot to stabilize it, and then just kind of let my hook find the center. And then pull up a loop and make a single crochet. And you can see this puts the stitch in the top of the picot, so it'll stretch it out and it'll help, it can help shape things really nicely. Okay, so now and I will show you, what to do with problematic picots in just a minute. Okay, so now chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and skip all the stitches into the next chain 3 space. We're going to make a treble, and then chain 2, another treble, chain 2, and one more treble. Okay, so that was treble, chain 2, treble, chain 2, treble, all in the chain 3 space of round 10. Okay, now chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll work into the center, single crochet into the center of the next picot. Now if you have trouble finding the center of the picot, let's see, I have sometimes they come out really nicely, like this next one is nice and round, and I think my hook is going to go right through the middle. Yep, perfect. And I'll make a single crochet, but sometimes they don't, and you don't really notice it. If you notice it, I would remake it, but this one you can see didn't come out so great. So to find the center of a picot that isn't really nicely done, it happens. What I like to do is kind of stretch the picot out a little bit and see if I can find a center spot. So if I just stretch it a little, you can see it actually starts to go around in a loop. And then I can get my hook in there real nicely. The first time I tried to get my hook in there, it went off to the side. So that's just one way that can help you find the center of the picot. Just stretch it, just pinch it just on the edges and pull it open a little bit, and you can find the center that way. Okay, let's go back to these stitches. So After we work into the center of the picot, a single crochet, we chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then into the chain 3 space, treble, chain 2, treble again, chain 2, and treble again. Now chain 4, and we'll work a single crochet into the next picot. Okay, so go ahead and do that all the way around. When you get to the end, you can go ahead and slip stitch to the first single crochet to join. You don't have to fasten off if you don't want to, but I am not going to show you the slip stitch this time. You can do that on your own, I'm confident. So that is the end of part 2 of our crochet along. You can see after round 11, it's not really going to lay flat now, and that's okay. We are going to put a few more rounds on this in part 3, and it's not going to lay flat again while we're working on it until we get it in the hoop. When we put it in the hoop, we're going to stretch this all out, and by then it will be nice and taut in our hoop, and it'll be really nice. But it's not going to look like much until we actually get it in the hoop, so don't worry about that. That's all. Thanks for crocheting with me. That is part 2 of the Wild Wild Wallflower mandala crochet along.